Hey, welcome back. Thought I'd do a short video on the petcock. A lot of times, almost most times, it's very difficult to find an OEM petcock to your 50cc noped. And if you do, you'll usually pay 50, 60 plus dollars for an OEM petcock. So there are aftermarket petcocks on the market. This happens to be for a QT50. I'm going to pull out the top, just comes right out. And you'll note on the bottom that this has a sediment bowl, which basically acts as, I guess, a sort of fuel filter. I think there's a screen inside it as well. But anyways, any sediment like rust particles in your gas tank will settle down into that sediment bowl, and you can unscrew it and clean it out from time to time. So this has an advantage over other petcocks that don't have a sediment bowl. And the fuel nozzle is 3/16 of an inch, which is no big deal. Just get 3/16 inch fuel line. Chances are you probably need new fuel line anyways. And I took this off because sometimes they're a little too tall. Now you can still install it in a QT50. I've installed it in 8 of them. No problem. It'll just bend a little at the top. No big deal. However, if you want to adjust it, take out the little tube inside, which is shorter than the outside tube, and you can either cut off maybe a 1/2 inch on this side, or I guess this is a little, we got a change in width, so I would cut off maybe a 1/2 inch on this side. Won't affect performance at all. It'll still work just wonderfully. It just won't hit the top of the tank and bend down. And then when you install it, make sure that O-ring is seated there. Of course, it'll just adjust itself because you're going to have to screw it on. And you're going to want to make sure not to over tighten this, because if you do, it'll deform that O-ring and it will leak. So you don't have to go King Kong on it and try to break off where this attaches on your fuel tank by over tightening this. And as opposed to some other petcocks, this has an on, off, and reserve position. I've never had a problem with these leaking so long as I didn't over tighten them. And there you have it. I've installed this on about 8 QT50s now, and it's always worked just fine. So there you go, a quick video on the petcock, because inquiring minds want to know.